If you've been around long enough, you know that there is so much change going on in the world. Rather it's algorithms, rather it's the music industry. I mean, heck, if you live in the Midwest, it's weather day to day. You just never know. And that uncertainty is unsettling, and also it can build anxiety, as well as it doesn't allow us to navigate through hard times. And so we spoke with Adam, and he talked about what is it for him that sustains him through all the trials.
Yeah, so I go by the name Adam. I'm from Rockland County, New York, which is about 20 minutes north of Manhattan in the Bronx. And, I just started, I've been rapping since I was really young, but I decided to kind of really go after it at, professional level about a year and a half ago. God's timing's perfect because it's like when he puts a call on your life, whether it's Adam or anybody else, and you decide to lay hold of that calling, he knows better than you when, you're ready or, to step into that. And so, he kind of led me on this long journey that brought me to where I am now. And I just feel honored and privileged to be able to use a music platform to glorify his name.
Man, yeah, that's what's up, bro. Yeah, and I loved your I love your the acronym for your name, bro. Like
Thank
that
you.
was when you had shared it last night. I was like, oh, okay. This man don't just got a name. He got a name. He got a meaning for his name.
Well, it's pretty cool. I was reading the Bible one day, and I've been blessed with a life that has allowed me to be around all types of people over the course of my life, young, old, black, white, rich, poor, the whole nine.
Yeah,
And I've always been a bridge builder with people. I love people deeply. And so one day I was reading 1 Corinthians 9:22, and it said, I become all things to all mankind so that by any means necessary, some might be saved. And if you read, the whole context of that, it's really just Paul talking about how God had allowed him become a Jew to the Jews, a teacher to the teachers,
yeah.
et cetera, et cetera. And so I've always felt like I was all things to all mankind. So when the letter ATTAM jumped out at me, I knew right then and there that God had really affirmed me in what my moniker would be.
Man, that's cool, bro. That's cool. Hey, and also your music is no stranger to the show. You've been on our countdown several different songs, several different times, bro. So shout out
So
to you, man.
that's awesome.
Yeah, again, it's a viewer's choice countdown. Make sure you guys are voting. But yeah, you guys are the ones that have voted him. So shout out to you. What up, Solo Music 82? Thank you for being here. Appreciate the follow as well, man. I see that. So tell me, Adam, bro, give us a little snippet of your testimony, bro.
I'm very cliche because I grew up with hoop and rap dreams. When I came out of the womb, my father was a Division II college coach. So I was born into basketball. I developed, a high level of skill at basketball from a young age and played at a very high level. Simultaneously, I was fortunate to grow up in the era of the Biggies and the Jay-Z's and the Nas's and so forth. So
Yeah.
I always had a dual love for basketball and hip hop. I was raised in a Christian home, but by the time I got to my teens, I really didn't have a deep desire to have anything to do with Christianity. So I kind of,
Yeah.
lived a reckless lifestyle. And then in 2006, I had achieved a lot in this world. I had a lot of prestigious jobs. I made a lot of money. I had accrued all the things that I chased after that this life brings. And I just found myself to be just completely empty. And I knew that there had to
Mm.
be something else more. And so that's when I decided to just turn to God and say, Lord, if you'll accept me for who I am and where I've been and what I've done, I will commit the rest of my life to you. And so that was in 2006. And I never looked back. And, he gives us
Wow.
this gift. I've been rapping since I was a kid. And then, he kind of gives it back to you when you're ready to use it for his glory. So.
Talk me through that process of you humbling yourself, right? Giving up your pride to say, my way is not good enough. I need something else. I need you, God. Talk to me through that process, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I tried my own way down countless avenues, and they all ended up in the same place, which was emptiness. And
Mm.
when I would attain what I sought out to accomplish or to accrue, I
Yeah.
realized that, it wasn't worth giving up a relationship with God. And so it wasn't until I turned my life over to Him and just kind of leaned on Him to guide and direct and order my steps and live a life of sacrifice unto Him that I found fulfillment. So when you get a taste of the Lord, it says, when you taste that he's good, you really don't want anything else. And, it's not that we don't still struggle here and there with, kind of losing sight of him for a little bit because something looks, glittery over here, but you quickly get reminded that true fulfillment is in Christ alone. And so, but I've made a lot of bad errors in judgment to bring me to the point where I realized that it's always a dead end when you seek the things of this life.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So what is it like? So let's try to, okay. So, because we can use what is known as Christianese, right? Where in the Christian culture, you're so used to these different words, giving my life, right, and feeling His presence. We are used to communicating this, and with context, a Christian has a more holistic view, and they understand it, right? So, explain to me in kind of layman's terms for the person who not necessarily is far from God, but just doesn't really know anything about God. They've only heard about it either in a song, maybe on social media, but they don't truly understand what does it mean when you say that you feel God's presence, or when you understood that not feeling empty. Because again, it's true, right? And as a believer, I'm like, hey man, like that, I'm super amped that you and I are part of the same family, but it sometimes is separated when you're talking to somebody outside the faith, and they don't understand that. It kind of seems a little bit more of like a I don't know, the feeling is in the air, or something to speak. So kind of talk me through that, bro.
Yeah, well, the reality is that all of us were made in God's image, and when He created us, He made us to want to and need to and yearn to have relationship with Him. So regardless of where you are in life and your perspective, at the end of the day, when we're all laying in bed staring at the ceiling at night, there is a yearning inside of us that we can't pinpoint, but we know it's there. And so, when you're constantly trying to figure out what is it that's going to bring me, steady joy, not happiness, which comes and goes with a good day or a bad day, not wealth that's so easily, attained and also so easily lost. But what is it that I can lay hold of that will allow me to just be steady day by day, no matter what my circumstances are, good or bad, when I'm having a great week or a bad week, when I get that promotion or I lose my job or somebody talks badly behind me or I get praise from man, all of it, at the end of the day is going to, just have an impact on our happiness level. But our joy and our peace comes from the Lord. So just that knowing that, I don't want to go up and down all the time. I want something that sustains my joy and peace.
Yes.
I find that in my relationship with God.
Yeah, man, that's sustaining, especially, again, we're thinking about social media and the music industry. Like everything goes so fast and nothing ever seems certain. So to find your faith, to find that hope that you said that can sustain. Was there ever a point in your life where you really felt just an emptiness? And how would you relate to somebody who has kind of been in that situation? And if you haven't been in that situation, how have you done? What have you done to not be in there?
Well, we're gonna, you're gonna showcase my video for a song called Judgment Day, and in the song I say I lived out my trunk. I've had extra cars. I know both sides. Now you know why we try to set the bar. And what I'm talking about is I have had times in my life where I had no money and I was literally living basically out of my car and on people's couches. And I've had seasons of my life where I was, in abundance. Yeah. And I've also been around people who don't have much. And I also, for work, I serve a lot of the people who are the most affluent in the world. So I've seen both sides. And to your point about, I find it harder to speak to somebody who has a lot of money and a lot of material things. It's very hard to sell them on a need for a God because at the end of the day, they think they're secure in what they possess. But, to make, come back to your original question, it's like, at the end of the day, my encouragement to people is when they come to me and they say, well, how did you know that you should start walking with God? Or what was that moment? And for me, I just got to a point where I got tired of feeling the same emptiness and feeling, run down. He says, come to me, all you who are weary and brokenhearted, and I will renew you, take my burden is light, and so it's like I always just encourage people, if you don't know God, there's no harm in just giving him a try. Just say, God, I just want you to be real. I want you to make yourself real to me. And sometimes people think that means he's gonna turn the water of your faucet into wine, when you turn it on. But you just have to turn your heart over to him, because God is all about the heart. He looks at the heart. He doesn't look at what man looks at. So we have to get outside of our finite thinking of a humanistic vantage point, and we have to think he's the God of the universe, and he's ultimately seeking to have a relationship with us, and that begins in our heart.
Hey, if you liked any of this content and you found some value in it, make sure that you like, subscribe, and of course, share it. Also, if you're interested in some more, go ahead and check out these videos. Till next time, grace and peace. Adios.